I just want to thank everyone for taking a few minutes to join us this afternoon. Thank you for being involved in this important issue. Just want to take a couple of minutes to talk about, why I think the work that both the Suburban Maryland Transportation Alliance and the Northern Virginia Transportation Alliance are doing couldn't be more important right now, especially. In Maryland, we've taken a balanced approach, an all-inclusive approach to transportation infrastructure. We've been invested record amounts in both transit and road improvements. We've got about $9 billion in highway improvements, 900 different projects currently under construction. We're building the Purple Line. One area that we've been trying to focus on now for nearly 6 years has been addressing the traffic on the Capitol Beltway, which is consistently rated as one of the worst bottlenecks in the country. It's so critical to the economy of our entire region. It's not just a nuisance for commuters who are sitting in soul-crushing traffic every day, but it also hurts our ability to attract more economic development to the region. So, we've got a traffic relief plan that includes fixing the Capitol Beltway, I-270. And 2 years ago, I got together with Governor Northam from the Commonwealth, and we came together on a Capitol Beltway Accord, which is kind of a bold, transformative way to finally build a new American Legion bridge across the Potomac River and relieve the traffic congestion that where it's coming in from both sides and from I-270 and 495. This is our whole TRP is the biggest public-private highway partnership of its kind in the world. We're not only going to try to fix the bridge and the roads, but it also is going to add reliable bus service, transit funding for local jurisdictions, going to add new bike and pedestrian networks, and it will create thousands of jobs and boost our economic recovery. And it's also going to free up for us critical funding for critical projects all across the state with the $6 billion we're going to get from private sector investment. So despite all of that, and despite the bipartisan and interstate consensus with the Commonwealth of Virginia, a handful of Montgomery County politicians have continued repeatedly to try to sabotage the project. And they're catering to a small group of kind of pro-traffic activists at the expense of the overwhelming majority of residents, about 70%, who desperately want something done about this traffic, and they support our plan. In today's Washington Post, I hope you all saw that, the editorial board once again came out strongly in favor of our plan. They had done one before that said it was the biggest action for the region since the 70s. This time, the board strongly condemned the actions of these Montgomery County elected officials as an assault on transportation common sense, a combination of partisanship, myopia, and dysfunction. That's the Washington Post. That's not my words. I don't always agree with the Washington Post editorial board, but I think they're right on this one. The Post correctly noted that the biggest losers are going to be the commuters that are hoping to avert a future of increasingly nightmarish highway congestion. So because of these short-sighted, kind of far-left politicians threatening to derail this project, it's not just the new bridge. It's not just the American Legion Bridge that they're threatening, but there's much more at stake here than that. Because if this project does not move forward, we lose the $6 billion in private funding and the money that they would take to maintain the current bridge, which means that it will eliminate nearly every single transportation project that we have in the entire National Capital Region. They will all be dead. So we certainly can't let that happen, but that's exactly what a couple of Montgomery County politicians are attempting to do. We've negotiated with them in good faith for 6 years now, repeatedly over and over again. They constantly move the goalposts and change their story. They keep going back on their word just to appease kind of what I would call a tiny, whiny minority, rather than doing what most of their constituents desperately want us to do. So, after decades of, I think 5 decades of delays, doing nothing and kicking the can down the road, this is the closest we've ever been to finally fixing the American Legion Bridge. And we really need all of your help to finally get this done. So I want to thank you all very much for being involved, and I look forward to the discussion.